Hi, my name is Deb Enright, and this is Money Matters. Today, we tell the story of a community partnership born out of the simple WCS mission to increase the availability of participation of students in the fine arts and to provide and maintain adequate core facilities to meet the vision of providing the fine arts for our students in Williamson County Schools. Melissa Dufreshoe joins us today to tell us how the exciting initiative Bring Your Music to Schools came together. Dan Hayes, director of the Franklin Theater and core participant in this initiative, joins us to talk about how he chose to become involved with this community program. And we will view an exciting video that introduces two more community partners committed to making Bring Your Music to Schools a success. We have a lot to learn today, and I am excited to share with you a wonderful example of how our community easily came together to make sure that our students have the chance to experience music in a hands-on way. After a short break, I will be back to introduce you to Bring Your Music to Schools.
She's got all these new friends, and I know they're not necessarily the best crowd.
Want to build a relationship at home where your teen is free to share their feelings? Take time to talk.
Oh, well, first of all, I'm glad you got invited for prom.
Take time to listen.
I don't want to make her upset.
If your teenager wants to tell you something, give them your undivided attention. Let home be the place where you talk about subjects that are fun and about subjects that are difficult. Don't know where to start? Books can help. Regardless of the book you choose, after reading it, take time to discuss what you've read and talk about their feelings and concerns.
If I was in that situation, would I be able to do it or not, you know?
Right. Remember, your teen's ideas are important, and your ability to listen is key to fostering a positive home environment. This Choose Success moment has been brought to you by the Middle Tennessee P16 Council.
And welcome back to Money Matters. I have two wonderful guests with me today, Melissa Dufreshoe and Dan Hayes. Melissa, as you will remember, is our fine arts curriculum specialist and a wonderful addition to the county schools. And then Dan Hayes is the director of the Franklin Theater. And they've joined me today so we can kind of talk about what happened, how this thing all started. So Bring Your Music to Schools. Melissa, can you describe your vision for the program?
Well, in talking with the band directors, one of the things that I was so surprised to learn when I came here is that there is a much greater need in Williamson County than a lot of people might realize. We have students who were so excited to be in band. Our band programs are booming across the district, and we're starting new bands and orchestras.
Tell me what booming means when you say that.
Well, for example, when the Sunset Middle School Band started several years ago, they had about 20 members. They have over 100 members now.
Oh, wow.
We have a brand new band at Hillsborough Middle School. There's a brand new orchestra at Ravenwood High School, and it just continues to grow. And as that continues to grow, we have a need to equip these students. And so we want to, it's our goal in this county that no student should be turned away from music for an inability to pay. And so we want to make sure that all of our students can participate in an instrumental music program by providing instruments to all students who need them. And so I reached out to some community partners, including the Franklin Theater and the Nashville Symphony, to see if we could work together to help get some of these instruments for these students through an instrument drive. Shuff's Music has actually volunteered to repair any of the instruments in-house that they can in order that our students might be able to play on donated instruments.
Let me back up just a little bit just to make sure we're kind of all where we need to be to understand this great program. Can you just describe what an instrument drive is?
We are asking people to look in their closets for that beloved instrument that they might have from when they played in high school or in college that's not being played anymore and still has lots of good notes on it. And to bring that to the schools and to bring their music to schools so that a student now can learn and benefit from a music education in instrumental music.
So what kind of instruments are you looking for?
Well, we are looking primarily for band and string instruments. The greatest need is for the large instruments, baritones, trombones, things like that, although there's even a need for clarinets and flutes and saxophones throughout the county. We are looking at starting new strings programs still, and so for being able to provide those string instruments to students is also important.
How do I know if my instrument is in good enough shape? You mentioned something about shuffs, so how do I know if my instrument's in good enough shape to be part of this drive?
Well, if anybody has a question about that, they can take it to Shuffs or they can take it to one of the drop-off points where there will be a band director who can tell them off the bat if it will be enough to that it could be repaired and made playable for a student.
Okay.
The instruments are tax deductible. Shuffs can put a value on it and we'll send them a letter that they can then use.
This sounds just wonderful. And so how did you get Mr. Dan Hayes involved in that beautiful Franklin Theater?
Well, that is really exciting. We want to have a big culminating event celebrating the coming together of students, community partners, leaders, and so we have two of our new programs, the Hillsborough Middle School Band and the Ravenwood High School Orchestra performing, as well as an ensemble from the Nashville Symphony.
At the Franklin Theater?
And the Franklin Theater has graciously opened their doors to us to allow us to be able to perform there, and we are very excited about that opportunity. It's a beautiful historic site. It's a site built around community involvement, and we couldn't have asked for a better place to have this concert.
Okay, so how did it work out? Did she call you? Did she stop by? How did you guys start that conversation to get involved?
Well, Melissa just got in touch, and for us at the Franklin Theater, we want to be about community. We want to bring these types of events in and make sure that we're being a partner, not just on the entertainment level of things and with the arts, but also on the education side. So we've done a number of things with the Williamson County schools and other schools as well, but this certainly connects, as she mentioned, you know, the community as well as the arts organizations and the educational folks to bring in three wonderful groups. And it's going to be quite a production when you think of two full bands as well as a chamber ensemble. I guess it's a chamber ensemble from the symphony that's coming. So a lot of great artistry on Saturday, May 16th coming up that, you know, just filling the house with music. And that's what we want the Franklin Theater to be about, live experiences and places where people come to be entertained to spur that creativity. But I think for people who have those instruments, as she mentioned, that are tucked away in a closet or under a bed or somewhere, they may have to dig it out to even find the thing. I know I would have to, but to bring that back to life is something that I think ought to motivate all of us to not just let those instruments, you know, lie silent. Let's dig them out and let's put them in the hands of some young people to let them go to use.
Well, and I love the way that you described it, that they might have some notes left in them. I mean, that's such a great way to put it. And I think it's also one of those things where you're not really sure what you can do with those instruments. You probably have them around for a while, and you know, there's something that might evoke a memory, but how cool to make it, you know, maybe make memories for somebody else as well. I am so jazzed about the fact that you're going to have some symphony players and then some young aspiring musicians and also some kids who may just be playing for a while, and you know, it may not be a musical career for them, but they're going to be able to say, oh, I got to see and sit and play with, maybe talk with some symphony members. How did you arrange that with the Nashville Symphony?
The Nashville Symphony is committed to educating students. The future of the symphony, the future of symphonies around the world is based on developing young musicians. And so part of their mission is outreach to different counties. So I've contacted Blair Bodine, their Director of Education, and told her about this wonderful opportunity that we have to be able to start this instrument drive. And I asked her, I said, do you have some symphony musicians who would volunteer to perform? And she said they are looking for that opportunity all the time.
Oh, wow.
Their musicians want to be involved in the schools. They want to help. They want to teach. And they were thrilled to be a part of this. And I had the opportunity to speak with Maestro Guerrero with the symphony, who is
That's just crazy.
wonderful day.
That's just crazy.
Who is just thrilled to be supporting Williamson County schools and bringing music into our schools.
Well, and he's been really wonderful, and we're going to get to see this video that he is a part of and that you guys show at the Franklin Theater on this humongous screen. And it really, I don't know, it just kind of makes you feel special that somebody of that ilk in the music world has taken a moment just to say, I don't know, I guess what I think I remember from the video, which we'll see in a little bit, is kind of twofold. He talks about audience development as well as talking about kids who may want to, that this may be the thing that makes them express themselves or make them, you know, want to go into that for a career. So you're kind of feeding both ends, right? You're helping that build that audience as well as getting some, maybe some possible players on this opportunity.
Well, absolutely. We already have students who are majoring in music, who have chosen the instrument that they started in high school to do that as a career. Some to become performers, some to become teachers, some to be on the business side. And so there are many people who have, many students who are gaining directly from their time as a music student.
So you're kind of, I mean, I think what I like about this example, it's kind of that it takes the community really to support the schools to give the fullness of an education as you're going up. So it's not just, you know, the reading and writing and arithmetic. It really is, how do we expose our students to a variety of opportunities? And I think what is exciting, particularly for this show and what we talk about, are these community partnerships. And so how easy was it to partner with our fine arts and the schools for this Bring Your Music to Schools program?
Well, for us, it's fairly straightforward. We just found the date that works and have put it into a time slot on a Saturday morning that we think will maximize people getting up on Saturday and hopefully planning in advance what they're going to bring. Don't just wait until Saturday at 8 and rummage around and figure out what you have.
Exactly.
But finding the date for that's fairly easy from a production standpoint. It's the kind of thing that we do every day. So we're honored to have, you know, certainly the symphony in-house, but also the young people. You know, our ability to have them come in and get to play on that stage.
I know, they're
with
going to be,
mentors,
that is so
yeah,
cool.
with their, you know, mentors and people that, you know, the caliber. I mean, a Grammy-winning symphony. I mean, to have members of them in the house but at the end of the day, it's really not just about what's happening on stage. The fact that people themselves can be mentors and reach under their bed or into their closet and find that instrument that, as she says, you know, has some notes left in it, bring it back to life if they're not playing it, you know, bring it in and make it a part of the community again.
I know, I would just really love the whole sentiment of it. So, all right, let's walk through the day. So it's March 16th, right? Wonderful way to start your Saturday. If you bring an instrument, you can get in, but can other people come, or do you have to bring an instrument to get into the theater?
No, we are selling tickets online, or the Franklin Theater has them available for purchase online or at the door for $10 a ticket. Of course, if you bring an instrument, we will actually give you 2 seats.
Very nice. Wow, this is such an incentive-driven thing. I really like it. It's really fun.
And certainly I think if they want to donate more, even if they don't have an instrument and want to contribute to the program or something,
Oh, that's
$10
lovely.
is just, just a matter of putting up some gate, to encourage people to give. But if they want to do more than that, I'm sure they're welcome to.
Absolutely.
Oh, I think that's lovely. Okay, now what happens if I find a flute that I've done nothing with for a couple years, and I want to still donate and be a part of this, but the 16th I won't be able to make it? Is there another way for me to be involved?
We actually have 2 dates available for people to drop off their instruments if they can't come to the concert. Thursday, March the 7th from 3 to 5, and Thursday, March the 14th from 5 to 7. We have 4 schools that people can take their instruments to. Hillsborough Elementary Middle School, Spring Station Middle School, Fairview Middle School, and Ravenwood High School. And of course, people can take their instruments to Schuff's Music or to Central Office anytime during the month of March.
So you've got this all mapped out. I mean, the entire county, you've got places where folks can send their instruments if they can't make it to the 16th. But if you really want to start your Saturday right in the middle of March off really well with some marvelous music, as well as seeing some emerging artists, as well as those that are really at the height of their career. What a great way to start off the spring. My goodness, Melissa. Well, this is so exciting. So is this going to continue? Is this something that becomes an annual event, or you're going to wait to see how this moves, or if people see more things under their beds? I mean,
well, I hope that this event really inspires people to want to become involved and engaged with the schools. We want to raise the awareness of what we're doing in Williamson County so that people want to be part of this community. This is not just for people who have children in schools. The schools benefit everybody in the county, whether they have children, had children, will have children in the schools. Anybody who lives in our counties knows what benefit they get from our schools. And so we hope that this will just be the tip of the iceberg for getting the community involved in all areas of our educational system here.
well, this is wonderful. Thank you both for being with us today. We'll be back in just a few moments. We have a very special presentation that one of our folks from the central office would like to give to Melissa. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Vince Gill. Did you know that car accidents are the #1 cause of death in young people ages 16 to 20? As alarming as that is, there's something we can do about it. If you just take a simple pledge, it'll help keep your families and your friends safer while you're out on the road. I pledge to wear my seatbelt every time I ride in a vehicle and make sure that others in my vehicle are protected as well. Well, that's it. Come on and join the thousands that have already taken this pledge. Don't be a statistic, be the clique.
Yes, we should be in the recycling bin. Let's go.
There it is.
Hey, if we're not recycled, everybody loses.
That's right. Landfills are very expensive, and recycling saves resources and protects the environment.
So what are we waiting for?
All we're asking is for you to recycle. Hey, baby, reduce and reuse.
And welcome back to Money Matters. This is about the favorite part of the show we've got planned for you today. I need to tell you a little story and then introduce someone who's going to do something very, very special to kick off our Bring Your Music to Schools program. So one weekend, I think it was a Saturday morning, I received a text and it said, hey, I've just bought an instrument from an auction. I think it'll be really cool to be the first person to give an instrument to this program that we're doing. Well, lo and behold, it was Leslie Holman, who is our Chief Financial Officer. And I was so touched by it because I know that behind just doing this in terms of its gesture, it has special meaning. So can you tell me about that?
Well, my dad was a band director, so even though I'm a mathematician at heart and a finance director. I grew up in a classical family and had music all the time. And my dad was a band director for Oak Ridge High School. He was also a music instructor at a college. So he's passed away. And when you came up with this program, I thought, you know, I want to donate something. And I went home to get my trumpet to bring to you, but it was so old and so ratty and so terrible, I didn't think it would work. But I went to an auction a little bit later, and lo and behold, at that auction, and I've been to several, there were 2 musical instruments. And so I bid on both and got them. And I'm going to bring you first this clarinet. And the clarinet is, my sister played the clarinet, and it's
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, it has another. Well, all of my sisters were musical in one way or another, and I was the only one that had the brains. But anyway, I didn't mean it that way. I mean, they all did.
No, but we'll make sure they get a copy of this tape,
Yeah.
Leslie.
Okay. But anyway, it just means so much to me, and I'm sure Dad is looking down thinking, oh, great, because music was everything to him. So I just wanted to do this for Williamson County, and Williamson County means a lot to me since I've worked here for so long. So,
Well, Leslie, this is wonderful, and this is exactly the kind of thing that's needed. We have students who need to be able to play clarinets and need these instruments in their hands, and I know somebody will really love to have this. And that story behind it, when we see somebody playing this little clarinet, you know they're going to have a story like that one day too.
Yeah.
And maybe as an adult they can then turn around and do something for another student.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was wonderful. I just think that's such a great story, and that's the essence of what this program is all about. And now what we're going to see is a video that has some of our other community partners that we talked about, the maestro from the Nashville Symphony, and our good friends from the Franklin Theater, and our very special friends from Schuff's, who will be doing a lot of the work to make sure that if there's any reconditioning to these instruments, as well as putting a tax-deductible value on these instruments. So we're going to let you see what is an extremely cool video about this wonderful program. Melissa, thank you for being here. And Leslie, thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
So remember, everybody, in March, it is Bring Your Music to Schools Month. Please participate. All of our students will be forever thankful.
Without music education, I wouldn't be here. As a young child, I was introduced to music in school, and somebody was brave enough to give me an instrument that I could play with, and I never looked back. And like most children, this was a hobby. This kept me busy.
Williamson County schools are committed to enriching our students' lives through music education. We believe that all students are capable of learning to play an instrument and understand the deep and lifelong benefits of a rich education in music. To orchestrate this success, our students need instruments to play. Williamson County Schools, in partnership with the Nashville Symphony, Schuff's Music, and the Franklin Theater, invite you to bring your music to schools. In recognition of the National Music in Our Schools Month, we want to invite you to be a part of this community partnership by supporting the schools through the donation of new or gently used instruments. Bring your music to schools.
You know, as our county grows, we must offer more opportunities in music classes for our boys and girls. Strong instrumental programs significantly contribute to the personal development and academic success of our students. We continue to add band and orchestra programs across the district for our middle school and high school students. But there's still more work to be done. I am personally committed to increasing access and expanding opportunities to more of our students so they too can experience the joy of learning how to play an instrument with others. I invite the community to join me in this effort because I know together we can make a difference.
The symphony has the need to ensure the continuation of our art form by providing ears, providing audiences for the future. And the best way that we can do this is by making an investment now in the music lovers of tomorrow. And that is why we have great partnership with many different schools and trying to find ways of how we help them continue bringing that message. Without having music in the schools, without having music education at every level, not only from the youngest ages, but all the way to retirees. If we don't start introducing great music to people at an early age, in 50 years, we're not going to have an audience.
You can help by bringing your instrument to any of our drop-off points on March 7th from 3 to 5 or March 14th from 5 to 7. Drop-off points will be at Hillsborough School, Spring Station Middle School, Ravenwood High School, and Fairview Middle School.
You can drop off your instrument to Williamson County Central Office or Shuff's Music anytime during the month of March, where we'll get your instrument ready to be played by a student.
And join us at the Franklin Theater on Saturday, March the 16th at 10:30 a.m., where the Nashville Symphony String Ensemble and 2 Williamson County bands will be coming together to celebrate schools, professionals, businesses, and most of all, the community that supports our students. You can reserve your ticket online at the Franklin Theater.
Or get in free with a tax-deductible instrument donation. Instruments will be accepted at the door.
Help us orchestrate success. Help us orchestrate success.
Help us orchestrate success.
Help us orchestrate success.
What a terrific example of what we can do together to strengthen our schools. Williamson County Schools is focused on providing all our students with opportunities to explore their world as they move through our school system. Bring Your Music to Schools shows the dedication of our community to that goal. Thank you to all of our guests today. How incredible to name the director of the Franklin Theater, the maestro of the Nashville Symphony, and our hometown Shuff's Music as community partners in the Bring Your Music to Schools initiative. So, what's in your closet? How about under your bed? Anything in the garage? Bring those instruments and drop them off on the 7th or the 14th at the schools we've mentioned throughout our show, or to our performance on March 16th at the Franklin Theater. Today's show was about lifting up the simple way a conversation can bring about significant effort for our students. It isn't always about writing a check or buying something from the boosters to support our schools. It is about support of one kind or another from our community to allow our teachers to dream and our students to grow. So today we see in a vivid example that money matters in many ways and through many means. Thank you for watching. This is our program for today. Before we go, we would like to thank our underwriter for the show, Daryl Thompson at Raymond James Morgan Keegan. My name is Deb Enright, and this is Money Matters. See you next time.
It's time we all grow up and accept personal responsibility for water pollution.
I am the river and I flow.
Dumping just 1 quart of motor oil can pollute 1 million gallons of water. Fertilizers and pesticides pollute our streams. Follow the directions and use these products wisely.
Things we do every day create stormwater pollution, and stormwater runoff is one of the largest sources of water pollution.
Water pollution, it's not the other guy's problem.